Hi, it's your Patsy, and I'm going to do your reading. And since you were so interested in the Akashic General, I'm going to give you an Akashic Personal. So, it's going to be 5 cards, just like we did in the original videos for the general readings for last month. So, let's see. Let's get started. And thank you so much for the opportunity to do this for you. Okay. So, the bottom of the deck here was the One of Roses. Okay? This is about commitments. So, this may have something to do with your marriage, or could be a business venture. But this is positive information that you need to know about a commitment. So, that's the overall energy that we're going to be dealing with in this reading. Now, the second card here for you was the Two of Roses, Winged Messengers. All right, so Two of Roses again talks about messages regarding love or family or commitment. So there may be messages that you've gotten or that you're going to be getting, and that may call for you to make some kind of decision concerning your home life, your family. Next card that came here for you was the Initiation in the Count of Saint Germain. We talked about this in the video. This is about attaining a higher level of spirituality and understanding, the place where you are going to be able to, you would be able to um, become a teacher, to be a master, one of the people that others come and seek guidance and advice from, okay? But this was in the reverse. So I'm going to read from the book so we can get clear messages of what this is, because this Akashic system is very intricate. In the reverse, the time of your initiation has been upon you, but you are holding on to old ways and are resistant to the wonderful changes at hand. Old things and relationships that keep your energy low are not your safety net, but rather the opposite. They keep you mired in difficulties. Even if the lower energy people and things keeping you down are gone, you may be stuck in their loss or just afraid to move on to something new. Whatever is keeping you from pursuing your highest evolution must be confronted. Don't block your movement to a higher utilization of force and mind, because with it you can change your life and the very face of the world. So it may be possibly there's something going on regarding your home life, regarding your commitment, that is hindering you from going forward to your divine purpose. All right. If we take a look here now at the Two of Roses, the Winged Messengers, this talks about a small conflict within your family. It could involve you or someone else, or it could involve your extended family. It could be money issues, an inheritance, or personal finances. The dove, as that bird is bringing you messages from your spirit. A call to see this little drama through your higher mind and compassionate heart. You may feel compelled to be the peacemaker or the provider in this situation. Let yourself do as your spirit guides you. The hawk, which is a predator, shows that there are times when you may have a tendency to be pulled into the fray yourself. With the hawk entering from the right, it certainly indicates that more challenges may be coming your way. Happily, your spirit is high above these challenges, so you can see them clearly and deal with them effectively. Okay, so there's some conflict that's going on around you that is pulling down on your energy. It may not directly affect you, but it's affecting someone that you care about or people that you care about. Or it could be directly affecting you. So that is what is concerning you right now. Right? So, next card, next position here is, I gotta look at it because I don't remember why. Got too many different readings going on. This is that. Number 10, the light of the world. Light of the world. This was in the reverse. So let's see what that message is. And that's a major arcana of 10 in this deck. You know, so. So this is talking about something disruptive in your life that may have thrown you off balance. Or you may have gotten very busy and the personal self has focused on the little details of life instead of on the inner priorities of spiritual truths. You have put the higher self behind you and you may turn to it only occasionally and sometimes only when a personal need arises. Understand that as long as you ignore the highest part of who you are, you turn away from the greatest source of your power and joy. The light of eternal wisdom is knocking. Open the door and keep opening it until you hold it within you absolutely. Okay, so this is talking about you having done what most of us do, is we become very fervent and very prayerful when there's something going on, but when things are going good, you kind of forget to be grateful and forget to work on our spiritual selves, and we fall back into our old patterns. That's normal. People do that. But what it's saying that you, not the one to be doing it. That it's you. You have a mission. That you have a purpose, and that these things may be cropping up in your life to force you to tap back into that higher self. So I know exactly what that's like. They will keep at you, giving you all these little challenges, and each one will get a little stranger and a little bigger and a little harder and whatever until you start doing what you're supposed to do. And if not, then they will just take you as low as you can go to get your attention, because apparently you're pretty important in this. Okay, so this challenge with your family, whatever this is that is pulling on your attention and occupying your thoughts and everything, there's a reason for it. It's happening around you because Spirit is trying to get you to focus, to get back into alignment. And if you are doing your work, they want you to do more work because you're supposed to be part of this. But that's being delayed, not taken away, just delayed because you have more lessons and more work to do, and they want you to get with it. Especially now, this is an 11th year, and there's so much going on. They expect you to be part of it because you have to if you're going to be one of the master teachers. So they may be putting more pressure on you to get your attention so that you can come across this video, ask for a reading from this woman, and get this, get this message. Divine will get done what they want to get done, however way they got to get it done. Right? Eight of Roses was the next card that came up. Get the book before I pick it up because I think this is going to be interesting. Eight of Roses, Sangha, community, Sangha, Sangha. Inside of a room, people are seated around a table, conversing with interest and energy. There are many icons from different societies and groups. There's a catechist, a sunflower, a Tibetan bell, an Egyptian scarab, a dream catcher, and a Star of David all around the room. All these different symbols and icons of different religions and different spiritual teachings, different books of knowledge, that kind of stuff. Different cultures. This card indicates it is time for you to join or rejoin your group, your ashram, your tribe, or your sangha. Whatever you call it, it's a community that connects you with others of like-minded purpose and activity. There are many communities in each person's life, and still more that return from past lives. For instance, you have your family, your friends, and your work associates, but you also have the people with whom you share many cultural, creative, or spiritual purposes. New friends can also be coming your way at this time. Be open to these new connections. You may find help. You will not only find help with current directives, but you may also reawaken past life relationships, talents, and disciplines. It's time for a happy sharing of your discoveries. So again, they're bringing this challenge to you in order to get you to reconnect maybe with the community. Maybe you've gotten away from your community on your original social group, maybe the way you were raised, people that you were raised with. Maybe you don't connect with them as much anymore. Maybe you changed your places of worship, or maybe you've even changed your method and style of worship. And it seems to me what Spirit is saying is that they want you to reconnect with those energies, with those organizations, with those places, using discernment, but making sure that you do start. And if you can't reconnect, then maybe what they need you to do is build a community, that type of community wherever you are now. They want you to bring, there's some enlightenment, some information that Spirit wants for you to bring to those in your community. And they're trying to get your attention to do that. And that's why they're giving you these challenges around your home or your family or your work in order for you to go back to that place so that you could be open to receiving the instructions that Spirit wants you to have. The next card that came for you in this reading, number 16, Caught in the Ruins. This is similar to the Eight of Swords, right? Being stuck, but not really stuck. But this was in the reverse reading. So what this is saying to me, without looking at the book yet, is that the situation is something that you are coming out of, that you'll be able to free yourself from this if you follow the advice that you're being given right now. Let me look it up. I don't want to make any assumptions. That was just my intuitive reaction to seeing it like that. A dark, horrible, confining situation is coming to an end. You've discovered that you can break free from self-imposed limits. Now you've escaped and you've started to put the prison of past histories and beliefs behind you. It's time to move into the green growth and harvest that your new efforts and power create. Be sure to stay the course. These old histories have a tendency to pull you back. If you start to slip, catch yourself. Recreate the new thoughts and actions of the new you. You've stepped into power and it's yours forever. So as I was reading this is so maybe you broke away from your traditional way of worshiping or some cultural something about your culture or something about the way you were raised, something you had kind of gotten away from it. And maybe it was a good thing. And maybe you don't want to revisit that again. But I think what it's saying is that if that is the case and you are hesitant to revisit those cultural lessons or those attachments, that you would they want you to look at this as an opportunity for you to revamp that system so that you can present it in a way that is less daunting for other people who feel like you do about it. So instead of everybody just going off and doing other things, joining other belief systems or not doing anything at all, other cultures outside of what you were traditionally brought up on to believe, then not everything. It's like don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, basically. That even though there are things that were just like, maybe too masochistic, well, not masochistic, but things that maybe wasn't equality for certain people. Maybe women were looked down upon, or whatever it is that may have turned you off from this structure, this organized religion, this organized way of sharing traditions, that you have the opportunity to revamp it and share it with people who are going to be drawn to you because they face the same challenges with this that you did. And while everyone moved away or moved back, I think what Spirit is calling for you to do is to, like I said, revisit it, revamp it, make it your own, and share it with others. Our relationship with the divine is a personal relationship. Even those people who are involved in twin flame journeys and all that, it's still about them as the individual, what their contract is, what they signed up for, what are the lessons that they needed to learn for their own ascension and for the ascension of their ancestors and for the descendants forward, right? So God is not picking certain churches and religions, organizations, and saying, "Oh yeah, I like that one better," and over the rest of them. We're all His children, right? The Creator has created all of us. So why would he favor one against the other, one type of way of worship over another? He's going to look at the value and the intent of the person. Each one of us has to be accountable for our way. And so rather than have people who aren't in fellowship at all, even privately at home, because they're not tied in to an organization, some people don't do well on their own. They do need the structure of an organization, or at least someone to bounce these ideas off of, someone who understands and believes and doesn't judge. So what I'm saying is that you may become a leader of people who are looking for an alternative so that they're not cut off from the community, and you create your own community within your community so that there's an alternative that people will feel safe to go to. And I'm not saying that you have to advertise it or whatever like that. But what I'm saying is that I think that you're going to be led to create a space in your home or somewhere where other people who want to share and fellowship with people who feel similarly about life and about the divine, that you all can gather together and have a safe place at which to share your experiences, to testify, give testimony and encouragement to one another about your daily or weekly or monthly interactions with the source, right? And I think that's what this whole message is about. I think that's where you're being guided. That's what Spirit's saying to me. And I hope that that's not something that is a deterrent to you. Maybe you might have already had these feelings already, but if there's something in your life that's going a little haywire where your family or your community is concerned, there's some kind of friction, upsetness going on that led you to ask for this reading, then understand that this is the reason for this reading. It was for you to be told about this situation and about the solution and about how important you are in the whole scheme of things. So I share. And pleased to have this opportunity to help, bring this forth with you, for you. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a card from the Wisdom of the Hidden Oracle deck. I just started using this like a day ago, okay? And this is by Colette Barron Reed. She's the one who writes the postcards from Spirit deck that I use in the general readings sometimes. And this may be good to get some further guidance about what's happening for you. So let's see what we can get. Can we have a further messages for our Sagittarius female? And Sagittarius is, that's what I wanted to tell you. Number 9. Number 9 is messages from the ancestors. Number 9 is completion. The end is when something dies to let something new come. Okay, so you're a 9 when I added up your birth date. And you're a Sagittarius. Sagittarius is one of the most spiritual signs in the zodiac. So I'm getting, especially for you, that this is You're built for this. This is what Sagittarians are. This is what they do. They bring that to the world. They're interested in spirituality and different cultures and gaining knowledge about religions and philosophies and things like that. Always open to learning about new things. And so that's why I think that you're being tapped to be part of this. And you being a 9, meaning that you have a relationship with Edgar, with the ancestors. You do get messages. You may be choosing to ignore them, or you may have gotten away from listening and following your intuition, or maybe questioning it when you shouldn't. And so, Spirit wants you to know that you need to learn how to start trusting and tuning in to your intuition and getting ready for the work that the divine has for you to do. So 2 cards came here from the Hidden Realms. First card was the Hungry Ghost, number 14. So 1 and 4 is 5. This is about changes. And the keywords here are obsessions, scarcity consciousness, and attachment. So that's like a poverty mindset. So, are you afraid of abandonment? Are you afraid of poverty, or have you escaped poverty, but those images still haunt you? Those experiences inform who you are today, and that you can't let go, and that you have maybe detached yourself from those memories in such a way that you've detached yourself from who you are culturally, and those things that were good about your life. That's just what I'm getting. that's just how it came to me, that in order to try not to ever go back to that situation, whatever it is, whatever negative situation you may have found yourself in, that you've gone so far away from it that you detached and lost some of what gave you the strength to get away from it in the first place, what gave you the impetus to change in the first place, because you trying so much not to let that yourself slip into that, or to let your family slip back into that thing that you feel is so negative, that, like I said, you threw out the baby with the bathwater. That's my impression that I'm getting from just that card, and I've never even seen it before, because, like I said, I just opened this up like 2 days ago. The Hungry Ghost. When the Hungry Ghost appears in your path, they may not at first seem like friends, because they represent your constant focus on the past and the consuming desire to know the future, which rob you of your true presence. But in fact, they are here in the service of alerting you to obsessive thinking and addictions. They're masters at magnifying repetitive behaviors. The message is for you to examine whether you're doing the same thing over and over while expecting a different result. This time will be different. I have control over this, are false statements and a sign of a deep denial of the truth. Now is the time to let go of that thinking. Surrender your will, your life, your heart's desires, and all that pains you to the divine. Order will be restored in your world. Okay, so you're going to be praying for divine order to be established in your life. The hungry ghosts also bring understanding about the distraction of life that seduce you into forgetting what you really desire. They're asking you to become aware that what others want and what the culture dictates will make you happy may not be the best for you. Asking you to become aware that what others want and what the culture dictates will make you happy may not be the best for you. Don't get caught up in outside appearances. All that glitters may not be gold, at least not for you. Look beyond the veneer, and you will find the true substance in your life. You deserve nothing else. Okay. Let go of the illusion of lack and accept things as they are. Perfect, abundant, and meaningful expressions of the divine. There will never be enough for the hungry goats that challenge you, for the only experience they know is scarcity. It's not your job to feed them. They will lose their power to haunt you. Trust in the abundance of spirit. So again, let go of those old stories that are chasing you and causing you to get stuck in lack or fear of lack, even though you may not even be experiencing any of that now. Next card that came from you, because two fell out, was the Shadow Queen, number 16. So 1 and 6 is 7, and 7 is creating a work, perfection, your art, and being able to share it and present it to the world as a finished product that you're proud of, and then getting some rest. So number 16, the Shadow Queen. This talks about acquiring knowledge. Acquiring knowledge also talks about insecurity and manipulation. The Shadow Queen tells you that too many of the details hidden behind your circumstances prevent you from moving forward quickly at this time. She has come with a lantern to shed light on what is concealed within you or your situation. This is the time to wait for more to be revealed. Perhaps you lack clarity and the knowledge of how to proceed with the subject of your inquiry. It's time to educate yourself a little more about your intention and then put that information to work for you. The Shadow Queen asks that you dig deep to gain strength and that you have the courage to ask someone in the know to shed light on your circumstances. She promises to send that person to you. Beware of moving too quickly in the dark, as you will likely trip and fall and have to start all over again. The Shadow Queen asks you to address your innermost character flaws with compassion. And now it's time to bring your wounded self and your hidden agendas into the light. Perhaps you're falling prey to insecurity, masked as elitism and arrogance, believing that you know best, or comparing yourself with others, or being fearful and self-sabotaging. You may have been taught that manipulating others rather than being direct is the way to get your needs met. The Shadow Queen reminds you that manipulation in any form isn't the best method of getting what you want. Another meaning that can also apply is the possibility that you're being affected by someone else's wounded self. Perhaps you are the one who's been manipulated. Whatever the case, it's time to take a fearless personal inventory and observe what part you play in the dramas and potential disasters in your life. When you come to the place of humility, forgiveness, and grace, then you can proceed again and walk into the light. There's great value and strength in facing your own shadow in the realm of the Shadow Queen. So this is talking about introspection, looking into yourself and finding what are the fears that are controlling you and keeping you from doing the work or rejoining the community that, or creating the community that the divine wants you to create, or rejoining the community that the divine wants you to be joining. But I think it's more about creating something different. So while I was shuffling the goddess guidance cards, a card fell out while I was shuffling the wisdom of the Hilden. I don't even remember how this came out, but I looked down and it was on top of your spread. So we're going to go with it. Damara, guiding children. You're good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children. So maybe children are going to be the people that you will be most able to help, or easiest to start with children because they're more open, as opposed to the rest of us old people who are just stuck in our ways. So let's see what the goddess Damara, what advice she has to bring to you. Message from Damara. One can be gentle and a fierce protector at the same time. The focus is on keeping harmony within households. And that stems from my desire for children to maintain their youthful awe and sense of wonder. How else will we ensure that they'll see and speak to the fairies? How else will we foster the continuation of children's healing laughter? Join with me in guiding the children, and you'll see your own imagination spark by these amazing young beings. Your own enthusiasm and youthful spirit attracts the children's respect and attention. I'll lead you towards young people who can benefit from your help. This talks about spending time with or having heart-to-heart talks with your own children, or getting into a career that involves helping kids, volunteering with young people. Know that children will be coming into your life soon. And take care of your own inner child through play and laughter. Damara is a Celtic fertility goddess whose name means gentle. Damara helps to bring peace and harmony to families and within households. She helps children maintain their youthful innocence and faith. Damara is happy to guide you with respect to the best way to help children, yours or someone else's. So maybe the community that you will be able to bring a positive effect to will begin with young people and children. And that part about letting children remain children as long as possible, I am a firm believer in that. Firm believer in that. And I really worked very hard for as long as I could to make sure that I allowed my children to maintain their childhood for as long as they can. Because you know what? In the scheme of things, you get this much time to be a child. And you get this much time to be an adult. And being an adult has a lot of responsibilities, challenges, you got bills to pay, you got all this stuff. But being a child is just a very short amount of time. And I believe that it's something that should be cherished and encouraged children to have adventures and to experience safety and love. Expose them to different things, but with a joy and innocence. And you get so much out of that yourself. So I'm a cheerleader for that. If that's what you're bound to do, I'm applauding you for that if that's what you choose to do. It's also talking about bringing harmony within your home. So maybe some of this upsetness that's going on inside of your household, besides the fact that it was to get your attention, if it has to do with your children, try to keep your children out of any adult disagreements, all right? And try to make things as happy for them as possible. If you have children, or if there are children around you, don't expose them to foolishness. Don't let your children see you arguing with their other parent. You got something that you have to say, wait until the kids are not around. Go somewhere else and yell and scream. Go out in the car, turn up the windows, and cuss each other out if that's what you need to do. But don't do it in front of your children. I believe that it just diminishes a child when you fight in front of them because they don't know what to do. When you diminish a child's parent, you're diminishing them. They may not say anything, but I'm sure now that you've gotten to be an adult, if you've ever heard your parents fighting, even if they weren't fighting with each other, they were fighting with a neighbor or a co-worker or boss who got wind of it. It made you feel a little bad if you heard that person say things about your parent. And it may have caused you to look at them a little differently, or it may cause you to look at yourself a little differently, especially if this was someone that you looked up to and that you tried to pattern yourself off. Children, so many things go through their minds, and we really don't know. So I think it's best if we could spare them that for as long as we can. Of course, one day they're going to grow up and, all of the things in the world that you have to deal with. But I think that the longer we can keep them safe and happy and not cynical, not jaded. And it's also a good time to expose them to spirit and the teachings, the possibility of what the divine holds for all of us. Those lessons remain with you when you learn them as a child, right? Because, in the Judeo-Christian tradition, it says that you should raise up a child the way they should go, and when they become an adult, they will not depart from it. And that is kind of true. It's also programming, right? But at the same time, there are things that certain children will embrace, and the fact that they were exposed to it as children may help them later in life when they need to revert to those tools, just like you may be called to do yourself. So the numerology guidance cards, number 19, 1 and 9 is 10. This is about you. This is about pride. 19, this is talking about pride. So maybe this is about you having pride in your culture or your background, not looking at it as something to shy away from, but something to embrace. That's what I'm getting based on the conversation that we're having about these experiences. And that's what Spirit is telling me, that this is about you having pride in yourself, in the way you were raised, the way you were brought up, the good things, the things that you felt good about in your culture, being able to share them with your children or young people, nieces, nephews, cousins, that kind of stuff, even if you don't have any children. But this is about you embracing self-pride, pride in who you are, pride in your journey, pride in your family. Let's see what 19 is talking about. This card indicates a need to swallow your pride to improve your current situation and your quality of life. By admitting when you're wrong and choosing to see someone else's point of view, whether the person is right or wrong, you raise your vibration, which brings you closer to your dreams. The bottom line is if you want to create a happy, harmonious life, you must let go of your need to be right or in control. To overpower, belittle, or punish another goes against the nature of your soul and takes you out of alignment. Yet, when you have the courage to make up your own mistakes, you align yourself with Source. Admitting when you're wrong builds character, inner strength, and self-esteem. It opens the doors for resolution and creates better relationships with others. Stubbornness and pride get you nowhere, but humility and compromise bring you closer to the realization of your dream. In order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythms and cycles of your life. Cycles that are encouraging you to rise above your ego. Rather than going alone because you're too stubborn to back down, you must cooperate with others. When you swallow your pride, you can make your dreams come true. The affirmation is, I admit my mistakes and improve my quality of life. There you go. So, choices that you may have made that you may have to now revisit. So, revisit it. People make mistakes. Okay. If this thing that's going on in your household, if this is something that is because of your inability to apologize or to see the other person's point of view, this is asking for you to do that. If you're the person who's being victimized, then know that this is what that's about for the other person. And then maybe you can share this message with them so that they'll understand that they need to be able to listen. They don't have to agree with you, and it doesn't make you right or them right. It's just the ability to open your heart and your mind to another way of looking at things. So, let's see what we shall get for a final message for you. Let's get something from the journey of love. Again, thank you so much for this opportunity. I hope that this reading resonates with you. Please let me know if it does. Get back to me because I love it. I really do like the Akashic Tarot, but it takes a lot out of me. And this retrograde isn't helping at all. All right, so let's see if we can get a message for you. Sagittarius female. In keeping with this reading, is there any further messages that we can get from Spirit? Confirmations, affirmations, information, encouragement as you go forth, healing this situation, healing yourself, and helping and healing young people around you. If that's what you choose to do, I hope you do. Because it is not going to just help you, it's going to help the community. Someone is waiting for your help. Oh, okay. So, number 5, the communal dance. Again, 5 is about changes, right? So let's see what number 5, the communal dance, is talking about. Some kind of love going on. I see a big heart there. There's secrets. There's the moon, but there's also wishes. Joining with others. Dance. Lover, you have been alone too long. Your community calls you to surrender your isolation for this moment in time and instead join the cosmic conga line. Do you know how special you are? So much that this community would not be the same without you. Your individuality and uniqueness can only enhance this group of souls that pulls you to dance with them. Men and women, human and spirit, heaven and earth, your community is vast and rich and has much to share with you. Be lifted in celebration of belonging, recognizing that you are part of something great. Grow your heart. Can your heart grow warm with recognition? You belong. You are meant to be part of this great dance of love awakening in the earth. Your heart is already beating to the rhythm of that music. This oracle brings you guidance. You're being drawn into a new community that is more aligned with your innate spiritual vibration. You'll feel at home there and be able to share your gifts and talents more freely with greater support. Let go of relationships or situations that you have been holding on to out of fear. If they were meant to continue with you, they will remain. If not, they'll fall away, creating a space for new connections to come into your life now. This is not a time to hide in what you have known, but to be open to playful connections with kindred spirits soon to be met. And the poem is, when I stood in front of you, I knew something was in store. I could feel the excitement of our journey ahead. I had been that way before. Each person comes into our life with lessons we may see, and in the reflection of that other self is the person we can be. Community, getting into rejoining, just for a moment, joy. Just for a moment, joy. 46. 46 is 10. This is about the individual. Looking out for yourself and the community. Those two things don't cancel each other out. Ashe, ashe, amen. What we feel and express when what we choose at any time is our offering to the divine cosmic matrix. It germinates and is reflected back to us as manifestation in this material reality. Can you choose to gentle your heart, to let it be open to light and to life, even if just for a moment? If you're in the midst of darkness or deep suffering, can you find, even for just a moment, the joy of existence underneath it? It is a wild ride, this life. Every time you open your arms and yes, the universe responds in kind. This oracle brings you a message. In this moment, trust that there is joy waiting to be felt and found, no matter how hard that may be to believe right now. Let go of your attachment to the apparent problems at hand as much as you can, and you'll be allowing yourself to let the divine take over and sort out what needs to happen here. There is help awaiting your invitation always. Why not let it in and let joy in too? You're being offered divine support to live a less guarded existence, to disassemble yourself a little or a lot and let your true nature, which is joy, bubble to the surface without rhyme or reason other than just because it lives. Love is magic, like a balmy breeze on a winter night. It feels so good. You want it to last forever, and love is magic because we make it so. By opening to the pleasure of being alive and sharing the joy we feel when we're not looking, the night may warm again. That's beautiful. With little tears to my eyes. Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to bring this message to you today. And I hope that this message resonated with you. I hope that you were able to get something from it because I know I certainly did. And I thank you for asking for the Akashic reading, even if you didn't intend to. You did. And I'm going to be sending this to you as soon as I can. Me and YouTube are having issues, but it'll get to you. Okay? Thank you so very much. And please let me know if it resonates with you. And I'll be talking to you shortly. And be well. Bye. Peace.